everyone, it's Kim. Welcome to another video, and today's video is an essential video for those who are nerve-wracked, including myself. So I decided to make a video about the essentials of online school and really how to be prepared for the unpredictable moments of your life. And because it's online, we really have to be just alert and a cyber robot, basically a cyber artificial human being, and be very aware of what's going on. Otherwise, if you're not aware, everything is going to fall out of place and this panic mode starts, which is exactly what happened to me. So let's get started.
Kim Rose explains the concept. Please listen carefully.
Alright, so let's talk about the first one, which is very essential to stay connected, and that is Wi-Fi. Making sure you have a good connection, just making sure the wire is not crooked or anything. Just make sure you have a secured Wi-Fi, even though in the Philippines it's not really secured or stable fully. So just try to have good Wi-Fi. Yeah. Alright, so let's talk about setting. And for setting, I mean your environment. Maybe you're working your room, your bedroom, your bed, which is what I'm doing, or your dining room, table, whatever. Having a setting is really important because it's where you're going to be for the rest of your school year, and trying to make it as comfortable as possible. So some people have a comfortable chair, and for me, I just have a pillow. So just do whatever you have to do to get comfortable in your setting. This is a necessary software that are essential in terms of maybe essays and computing stuff. For me personally, I use Microsoft Word, or sometimes I use Excel if it's just accounting things or just putting stuff and data. So I use Notion. Notion's not really a software, but I use things, or Grammarly is really important, or save my butt twice. So try to find the essential softwares that should be installed and downloaded. It's basically earphones or AirPods or whatever you use to just plug in. And sometimes when my siblings come in and I'm just get out of here, and I'm trying with these babies or AirPods, whatever you're using, it's really important to hear and be aware of what's going on. That is really crucial, and I personally don't think it's necessary, but it is necessary in the sense to make sure you have things organized, and making sure you're writing things down so you won't forget them. And that, my friend, is just paper. Just get a random paper, and this is a essential really, but I prefer not to have paper. I try to almost digitalize everything that I write or need, because I don't like the idea of wasting paper and the fact that there's so much deforestation, or there's a lot of illegal logging and so much paper being wasted. So I really just don't like that idea, and so I try to digitalize every single notes in Notion or maybe Google Documents. But you can have paper, or try to find a recycled one, or whatever they have that's much more sustainable in terms of environmental concerns. Well, let's talk about the traditional things that we might need when it comes to online school and later, whatever. For me personally, I only have one highlighter, and I would keep forgetting things where I put them and all that. So I get to suffer and last minute need them and blah blah blah. So I just get pens. Who can't? They say a pen is mightier than a sword, and I totally agree. So writing things down just really helps with maybe your memory, and helps everything seem fun and colorful, like these babies. So, just get random pens. These are all from the National Bookstore or whatever, or what do you call these pens? And that's making sure that I have flashcards. And not a lot of people use them, but I do because it's just so easy to write all the syllabuses that the teacher just put out there and making sure that you can go back to it. So this is just great because it's just so, like, you can put a summary of whatever the concept is in these bad boys. And yeah, so buy too much paper. I don't want to use paper in general, and I mentioned that earlier. So, but I still got something to write everything down because it's just part of it. It's just part of the, actually I had no choice, you know. I really had no choice because they're like, oh, write it physically. And I'm like, why? So getting notebooks, I'm just getting one from like a general stationery shop. And these are just where I put all of my notes. Sometimes I like to have, sometimes I put my notes here. So this is very fundamental here. Like I said, most of my notes are being digitalized, so I don't really need much. That everybody is probably gonna need, store a little paper and think about a little USB for paper. So I decided to get binders, or just like a regular binder, nothing too fancy, that can store all my documents, maybe like a periodic table that I probably will never use, and just, you know, just really fundamental things that, you know, exam test papers and all that stuff, and my awkward face from like high school. So yeah, binder or folder or whatever you want to call it is really important. Essential thing is that I personally prefer using a pencil during quantitative things, or like during math or something, because honey, sometimes people make mistakes and you can always use an eraser to like erase them. That's why it's called an eraser. So just using pencils just really helps writing stuff. So yeah, all the essentials. I want to also remind you that the most essential thing, if you don't do this, like, we might die. We might die if we don't do this essential thing, and that is to drink some water. I'm not kidding. So this is essential because without water, we will probably faint in class, or like, I feel like drinking water is so important, and I often forget because I'm just like, oh, okay, moving on, trying to pay attention. I'm like, okay, that's why I make sure I have like a huge thing of water next to me so I can stay hydrated and not pass out. So very essential. I probably need another trip to the stationery, but the day has not come yet. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to all these little tips and information. And I know you can survive, because if I can survive, you can. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe to join the extraordinary family. That's why it's called Kim X Rosie. I made it up. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.
Oh my god.